A very good afternoon and welcome to Loughborough University for today's WEABL competition. The Leicester Riders, or should I say the Charnwood Lady Riders, are getting ready to take on the Derby Trailblazers Academy. We've seen one fixture already today which saw the same head-to-head, but in the men's competition, an exciting game which Charnwood Riders came out victors, and now we're all set up for the ladies to set this one up for a big battle. My name is Ty Hadjat. Alongside me today we have a very special guest. We have Holly Winterburn in the building. How are you doing, Holly?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am good, thank you very much. I'm glad that I have your expertise with me here today, and hopefully, you know, you'll be able to share your thoughts on today's game. And everybody, it's Holly's debut, so please be nice.
Oh, I mean, it's nice to be at a game, a live game, and be able to watch it. So it's a privilege to be here.
But as a former Charnwood College rider, I'm sure you'll be rooting for one team in particular overall.
I mean, as a commentator, I've got to stay impartial, but
of course,
you know who I want to win.
You're off to a great start. You're off to a great start on your debut, correct. Being impartial is key. Let's have a quick look at the rosters and go through them for you for Derby Trailblazers today. In at number 4, captain Neve Marville. Number 5, Annalise Roundtree. Number 6, Natasha Barker. Number 7, Vanessa Obenor. Number 8, Amelia Rakjan. Number 9, Megan Lovett. Number 10, Georgia Hutton. Number 11, Kira Sklepich. Number 12, Kenny Hamilton. And number 13, Megan Adair. Their head coach is Carl Henderson. For the Charnwood Lady Riders, in at number 4, Sassy Lecure. Number 5, Molly James. Number 6, Taylor Lambert. Number 7, Lily Reid. Number 8, Casey Cox. Number 9, and Captain Hannah Bird. Number 11, Katie Davies. Number 12, Beth Cox. Number 14, Eve Shadrick. Number 15, Alex Shaw. And number 22, Katie Jana Shevska. As we get this one underway, the Charnwood Lady Riders taking on the Derby Trailblazers. So players from the Charnwood Riders, Holly, any players that you're highlighting ahead of today's game?
I think, obviously, Molly here just taking a shot and she hits it.
Big 3.
She's been great all year for Charnwood, and she's been training a bit for the WEABL team, and it's been great to see how much better she's got, and she's obviously going off to the States next year, so looking for a big game from her.
And at the opposite end, a couple of names to take note of. Neve Marville has been around the circuit in the Midlands for a little while, and also Megan Adair.
Yeah, Neve I've seen a bit for GB. I've seen a bit of her game, and I like what I see, so again, good to see her play, and I'm sure they're all ready to play today after not having so many games this season.
And a foul early on here for number 12, Kenny Hamilton. And the Riders have possession here. A 3-0 start for them in the first quarter. Official WEABL action is back. And a clean-up at the ring. Casey Cox for 2. Now imagine if you were at Charnwood College now, you've been blessed to have the opportunity, of course, to always play WBBL or D1 Women's, etc. But imagine going to college and not being able to compete.
I know, I can't, and they work so hard every single day. Like, I've been there at Charnwood, I know how hard it is to get up early, go and shoot, go and do a normal school day, train after school, and to not have the reward of getting that game. I mean, it's been so hard for them, and testament to them for sticking with it.
An offensive foul call here on Molly James, just trying to force the play, and the referee called the offensive foul. Here come the Trailblazers. Marville. Driving baseline with Lovett.
Good hands there.
And out of bounds. Trailblazers ball. Riders Upton for man-to-man defense, putting on the pressure early on. Marville looks for the screen, doesn't get it to go. Hamilton sets the screen. Nice roll to the rim for Hamilton. Blocked at the ring. I feel like Cox got a piece of that. And now Riders moving down the other end of the floor. Here's James, one-handed skip pass across. Ball rotation. 3 ball. No good. And a rebound for Marville. And a nice pass inside to Hamilton once again, who throws it out of bounds. Derby Trailblazers possession. Had a quick conversation with Carl Henderson at the beginning of the game. I've spent some time with Carl in my coaching journey. We were both working on the East Midlands team at under 15s level, so a great guy. And he was talking about this Trailblazers team, a relatively young group put together with some good talent, but just not enough game experience is what he was saying. And hopefully they can put some of the stuff they've been working on in practice into play and stay competitive in this game. But at this moment in time, they've got a tough task. So Albany goes back to basket and misses that shot. Big three for the Riders in the play before that.
Yeah, I think Riders obviously have come out and they're being a bit more aggressive. They're knocking their shots down. And Derby aren't playing bad. They just, they're getting into the paint and stuff. It's just that last move, that last dribble that they're struggling with. But I'm sure it's just pre-game nerves and stuff, and they'll settle in soon.
Of course. And as mentioned before, the nerves of not having played many games, and now you're allowed to play games and you've been dying to get out there. Huge three in the corner.
There we go, yeah.
As they start to get it going, Megan, love it. Yeah, as soon as you start to have the opportunity to get back out on the floor, you always have those nerves. Did you experience that this season? After we had like a little bit of a break, and then first kind of game comes around after kind of are we going to start, are we not? How did you feel?
And it was hard. It was all season. It wasn't just at the start of the season or when are we going to start in general. It was every game. You didn't know if it was going to be cancelled the day before. So I think every game that we played, we struggled in the first quarter just because we were just a bit erratic, and we had to really settle in the big games, because if you have a 2-minute let-up against teams like Sevenoaks and London, we're going down by 10. So definitely a good start is important.
A challenging season also for the Riders women's team. It didn't end in the right way you wanted to, and also halfway through the season kind of switching up your roster and having to figure out how to amalgamate a new one.
Yeah, I mean, reflecting on the season, like now it's finished, it feels like we had 2 seasons. We were in pre-season for so long when Kate and Sarah were still in our team, and we had that cup victory, and it felt like the end. So then getting all the new players in and working out a new style, it was a start of a new season, and didn't end the way we wanted, but credit to Newcastle, great game.
And they did it again, of course.
They did.
Which makes you feel a little bit better.
It does. Like I said earlier, no one's talking about our loss anymore.
Yeah,
so
for sure. And here inside, Cox, aggressive to the right hand off the glass for 2. Riders asserting their experience in this game. A lot of D1 experience and a little bit of WEABL experience. I'm interested to see Katie Janaszewska come off the bench.
Yeah, love KJ. Great player, great person, works super hard, and she'd be a great asset for any college next season. And well, next season she'll be here and then going off to the States. So excited to see her grow.
And here's Marville. Kicks it out once again. Another 3-ball in the corner. Bobbles over to the other side of the ring. Rebounded by the Riders and turned over.
I think she could have just pushed that herself then. And I know Eve, she's a good point guard. I think she could have trusted herself to bring that up, but always good to look to push as well.
10-3 the score, 5 minutes 23 remaining. Big shout out to everybody checking in with us on the YouTube. Please let us know your thoughts about today's game, who you're supporting, where you're from. We're more than happy to engage with some conversation with you guys about today's action. The first live stream action for the WEABL this season.
Yeah, and I think it's great that the WEABL have allowed the play-in league to happen and just give them that experience and give them a reward for working so hard this year.
An interception now. Lecure to the basket down the other end of the floor for 2. And the timeout call by Coach Carl. He'll want to talk it over. 12-3 the score. Just a lot more intensity from the Riders, and they feel they look a lot more well-oiled and have, as players individually and as a team, had a lot more games to kind of get themselves.
Yeah. I think offensively and defensively, they've just come out with more energy. Like, they're getting steals, they're pressuring, they're making it hard for Derby. And offensively, they're attacking, they're rebounding, they're hitting their shots. So a really good start for them.
For Derby, a slow start. Not for the will of getting into positions or scoring positions. In this kind of game where the other team has got a lot of experience and a lot of talent on their roster, you kind of have to lift yourself up to that level and play at their level and really test yourself against the best players, right, as an individual?
Definitely. I think from my experience playing as a team where they are maybe more talented and they've got a better team, you have to just match. You have to want it more. Like the Newcastle game, they, not saying that we didn't want it, but they just came out with so much intensity. They got so many steals, and they were just in our faces the whole game that it made us uncomfortable. I think that's Derby's key, just to make Charnwood Riders uncomfortable and try and get them to cough the ball up, get them to miss shots, and go on a little run of their own.
You know, in a position of which you know potentially that you are in a stronger, or you're the favourites to win a game, and you're not doing so well as a good player, there's nothing more frustrating than that, right?
Definitely.
I don't want to say be disrespectful in terms of lowering yourself down to the team's level, because we haven't had the opportunity to see what level Derby's at yet in this game. But in that situation, you know, it's so frustrating.
It is, and not that you know you're a better player, but you, like myself, you know you're capable of more.
And your teammates as
Yeah.
well.
Definitely.
Foul is called. Foul is called the number 11, Kate Davies.
I've been really impressed with Kate this year. I mean, the D1 team practiced before us, so you get there and you watch a bit at the end of practice, and she's really grown from the start of the season to now, and she's a really good shooter, really good defender, and I think she's got a lot of potential, so be, again, excited to see her grow.
You know where Kate was playing prior to Charnwood?
Cardiff, I think.
Cardiff, okay.
Yeah. I remember a few games of when we played in Cardiff. I remember her being there and her mum, and she was asking me about Charnwood and stuff like that, and then she came on a visit and she's ended up here. So.
And substitutions now checking in for the Derby Trailblazers, number 5, Annalise Roundtree, number 10, Georgia Hutton checking into the game. And here come the Riders. Davies. Yeah, an interception here for the Trailblazers. Pushing down the other end of the floor. Love it to the rack. She has 5 points personal in this game. Here comes Shadrick pushing the pace all the way to the rack. A rebound. Davies again. A fight for the offensive board. Fighting for possession. Hamilton dives on it. And both players with their hands on the ball means it's a Leicester Riders possession as dictated by the arrow. Interception here for the Riders. Carelessness from the Trailblazers. Alex Shaw with the interception. Here's Shadrick now. Pushes it off to Davies. Reed hands it off. Lambert off the dribble. Travel violation called by the official.
I think Derby did a good job there of, containing the penetration and not letting them get into the paint. So that's better from them.
So is this very much a second unit here for the Charnwood Riders at this moment in time?
I think so. I mean, out the start, I think there's only Eve on there still, but at the same time, like, all of the players this year have done their bit to earn these minutes and stuff like that. So I don't think it's too much of a drop off.
Still no Katie Janaszewska in the game.
No.
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully she comes in with a bit of a bang.
I mean, she's came in with a bang in our games all season. She's been a great lift off the bench and really underrated, I think. And she gave us so much, shown in that Seven Oaks game where she won us the game, and I can't speak highly enough of her.
Kate Shaw there. Apologies, not Kate Shaw. Alex Shaw there with a great back to basket. Nice footwork, finish. Is Lovett. Equally just as impressive footwork, gets her own rebound, kicks the ball out. Marville back to Lovett in that corner once again off the dribble. Kicked, ball rotation, Hamilton, Marville, long two for Marville, knocks it down for the Trailblazers. They have 7 points to their name. A bit more composure there.
Yeah.
From the ladies in blue. And now Riders with a chance to attack. Left all alone to shoot the three. Davies, and the Trailblazers come up with possession. Hamilton with the crossover. Nice strong take to the glass. Back into the hands of Marville, and the Trailblazers reset. Marville drives onto the right hand, sneaks that one in.
Nice take from her.
Double teamed under the bucket. Squeaks it in just off the underside of the backboard for 2. A little bit of a run here for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, let's see if they can get some stops with these scores and try and get themselves back into a closer game.
Nice execution there. Couldn't get the shot to fall. Kicked back out. Back inside. Alex Shaw. A 3-second violation called. Oh, I'm not sure about that one.
It's a nice aggressive move. She got good position and unfortunate call, but good to see her be aggressive.
Substitutions checking into the game for both teams. For Derby, checking into the game, number 13, Megan Adair, number 7, Obenor. And for the Riders, Janasevska will check into the game. I'm just trying to see the number of the other lady that's checked in. I think it's Beth Cox has checked into the game as well. Here's number 12, Beth Cox. Here's Janasevska. Driving strong to the rack, right-handed floater straight into the game. Bobbles around and rebounded.
She loves that floater.
She's long, so she has those limbs that will just get it over you or get it around you.
And I think with her developing three-point ability, like, you have to respect that now with her, and like, teams are closing her out hard, so developing that mid-range game is going to be really important for her.
Alex Shaw with the block, now dribbling strong into the left hand. Cox kicks it out, 3 ball, off the side of the ring, kept in play, nice hustle play from Cox, but the Trailblazers come up with possession. Here's Hutton, caught in a trap, a lot of contact there.
Again, a good take by Derby, and I think that's what they need to do, keep putting pressure on the rim, and then Charnwood are going to have to respect that, and then that's when they can kick it out and get those open shots.
Foul called for number 22, Janaszewska. Not to forget that actually she spent a lot of her junior time at Derby.
She did.
And of course they would have been wanting her to try and stick around. Here's Marville. Nice hesitation and drive. Nice pass to Obenor. Janaszewska gets the block on her. A dive for possession. Marville does get it out. Time to beat the shot clock. Another block or something happened there. Shot came short, and here's Shaw. Now Janaszewska. With the crossover and the spin, driving to the rack, the foul is called. Foul called on number 10, Georgia Hutton.
Yeah, good aggressive take from her, and she drew the 2 defenders, and that's all you can ask for from a wing player like her, to get in and make some plays.
Skip pass inside to Janaszewska for 2. Can't quite get the shot to fall. And that is going to be a bit of adjustment when you're playing at such a high level, such as the WBBL. Oh, a travel violation called here.
That's a tough one.
And the referee determined that she was in control of the ball before she started to move her feet. But yeah, sorry, you know, playing at WBBL level or Division 1 level, it's quite, the quality of basketball is much higher, and then you come to maybe WEABL level where there is high quality players, but overall sometimes in terms of the gameplay it might not be as challenging. It's very difficult because sometimes players aren't in the places you want them to be, or the defender doesn't react in a mature way, so it's hard to counter.
Yeah, I think that's really, it's underestimated how hard it is to switch between the different levels, because it's just a completely different style of playing. You have to attack the game in such a different way. So credit where credit's due. It's hard for KJ to come in and play the same way, so hopefully she can adjust, and as a team they can adjust to a different level.
14-11 the score at the end of the first quarter. Riders were running out with it early on in this first quarter, and Derby, give them their respect, they have battled back into this game. I guess getting a little bit more confidence. Yeah,
and I think, like we said at the start, those pre-game nerve and just a bit of rust for not playing for so long, like they weathered that storm and they've came right back, so looking to be an interesting game.
Big shout out to everybody checking in on the YouTube comment section here, watching us live on Basketball England. Please don't forget, like, share, subscribe, get involved on social media, etc. with the conversation at WEABL on the Twitter handle. share the women's junior British game overall. So stats, if you're looking for stats, we should hopefully have them very shortly. There isn't a live stat link at this moment in time, but we are getting stats brought up to us hopefully at the end of each quarter. It does take our volunteer a couple of seconds to nip down, get back up. Good exercise for them, but it means you'll just have to wait a little bit more from the specifics in terms of numbers in that one overall.
Yeah, and I think we've seen quite a balanced attack from both teams. Not one player has really stood out. So it'll be interesting to see who's actually leading in each category.
So, speak of the devil, and here it is. So 4 points, 4 rebounds for Casey Cox, 3 points for Molly James, 2 points for LeCure, 3 points for Kate Davis, and 2 points for Alex Shaw. For the Derby Trailblazers, 5 points for Megan Lovett, and 4 points, 3 rebounds for Neve Marville, and 2 points, 2 rebounds for Megan Adair for the Derby Trailblazers. So balanced across the board at this moment in time. Both teams not particularly shooting the ball at a high percentage, 33.3% for the Riders and 20% for Derby. Riders capitalizing on the turnovers. They both have 7 turnovers, but Riders have 11 points from those turnovers and Derby only have 2. So that will be the difference then in this game, with Riders capitalizing on their turnovers.
Yeah, and I think it's that defensive pressure that's really been good for Riders, and hopefully it dropped off a bit in the second half of that quarter, so hopefully they can get back to that and push out again.
Hutton. Shot clock violation.
There it is, that defensive pressure.
And the Riders will win it back. Ball coming into play. Here's Reed. Janaszewska. Ball rotation, skip back out to Reed. Behind the back. Back to Janaszewska, she's going to drive. Finds room to get the shot off and gets it to go, opens a bank account for the afternoon.
Yeah, great job there to drive and come across a secondary help defender and make a counter move and get around that. That's really a high level drive from her.
Sklepic gets the ball out for 3. Oh, a long 2 is given there for Hutton's shot. And it's a 2-point game, 16-14. The Trailblazers fighting. Nice backdoor cut here.
Nice find.
Lambert gets it out. And it's no good from behind the arc. Riders not particularly shooting the ball. Well, as I said, neither team particularly shooting the ball well at this moment in time. A drive at the ring. Janaszewska with the second block of the game. Pushing forward now onto the left hand. Janaszewska to the right-handed floater for 2. Straight to the rack.
Again, just another great drive and another heads-up play, and I just can't wait to see how good she's going to be.
A fight for possession. Riders have lifted the intensity starting in this second quarter. Foul is called.
I think with those, the not great shooting percentage at the moment, I think that's a really good opportunity for both teams to offensive rebound and get those second chance points and get those easy putbacks.
Driving kick. Obenor, long 2. Rebounded by Janaszewska. Straight away, all the way down the other end of the floor, rim to rim. Couldn't get it to go this time. Obenor now finds Adair, but out of bounds, and Riders will have possession back. Cox to inbound. We've got some nice comments hitting up in our YouTube. Petra Mercer, great to see WEABL back. Fantastic organisation from Basketball England. Lovely to hear Holly. Greetings from sunny Malta.
Malta?
Yeah, I am very upset that you're in sunny Malta. I would very much like to be on holiday at this moment in time, but I'm sure, you know, in due course we'll all be back to globe-trotting where we can.
Yeah, I mean, they announced the green list Was it last week?
Were you hot on the tails of that season? Done, announced the green list. I'm out of here.
I've booked my flights.
Both players with their hands on possession. Stays with the Riders. Substitution checking into the game for the Riders. Number 9, Hannah Baird. Is that Hannah Baird at number 9?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, cool.
Yeah, she hasn't played yet, so good to see her enter the game.
And Liqueur checking in. Has she had a hair colour change?
She has.
Yes, I'm just like used to saying that jet black hair.
Yeah.
And I did not recognise her.
I mean, she did it a while ago, but again, there's been no games,
yeah, we've
so.
not seen anything. Nice ball rotation. Liqueur finds it up to try and beat the buzzer. Into the hands of number 8, Amelia Rakjan. Hamilton kicks it out. 3 ball is nothing but net. Nice and high, almost scraped the ceiling. Sklepic for 3.
Yeah, great arc on that shot.
And the Trailblazers hanging around. In the corner now, 3 ball for the Riders. It's money. Beth Cox from the corner makes it count. Now with Sklepic, hands it off to Hutton. Hutton caught in the trap. Obadair rolls off the screen. Does find Rune. Obadair fighting her way to the basket. Really physical.
And great composure there from both of them. They were both a bit out of control, but managed to keep their balance and not travel.
Oh, Hannah Baird dancing around the defenders. Gets it to go off the glass. Underrated player, Hannah Baird.
Definitely. I think she does those little things that every team needs. She's that glue player. I've played with some great glue players in my time, but she's definitely got that role and she does it super well.
Obador. Nice backdoor cut here. And bobbles out of the ring. Hamilton with the offensive rebound and the foul is called. Number 6, Taylor Lambert, falls for the pump fake and lands on top of the attacking player. And that's her first personal foul. Second team substitution checking into the game. Replacing Hutton. Well-deserved break. Has had an impact for her ladies in this second quarter. And Neve Marville will check into the game. Hamilton. Now out for a 3 ball again from Sklepic. No good this time, maybe because the shot arc didn't have the same arc as it did before. Here's Obador driving to the right hand. Skipped around. Ball passed forward, Liqueur will finish it off. And the Riders starting to find that form once again that they had at the beginning of this game.
I think it was when Riders got the rebound, all Derby players were, surrounding the ball and trying to put that pressure on. I think that's something you have to learn as you get older. Transition defense is more important than getting that steal.
Sklepic splits the defenders, fights for the offensive rebound, keeps it alive for the Trailblazers. Looked at that shot once again. Here's Hamilton. Hard off the dribble. Hamilton Euro stepping, kicks it out. Nice find to Marville. Couldn't get it to go, and a rebound now for Cox. Ball forward once again. Hannah Baird to the rim and transition. They're just way too quick. Nobody there behind the ball to slow them down. Coach Cal will pause it there and talk to his ladies about that one. 27-16, 4 minutes 37 left to play here in the second half, Holly.
Yeah, and I think it's that transition defense. It's so important to get back, and if you let teams get on a roll like that, it's really hard to come back by because they're such easy points.
Really physical play from Derby, really opting to get to the rack. And I've grabbed a couple of offensive balls, second chance opportunities, unable to clean it up. But as you mentioned, that defensive transition element, when that plays over, they're really struggling to get behind, whereas the Riders are looking almost, it looks completely natural that their guards are just leaking out and finding all the room in the world. I
think that's a style of play that Leicester Riders, especially the women's side, have had across the years. I've always been, it's always my excuse when I don't box someone out that I'm leaking out. So as Krumesh would always make sure I knew about.
Hey, listen, somebody's got to run the floor.
Exactly.
Someone's got to be ahead of the play, and you just optimistic in thinking that, you know, the opposition is going to miss their shot and I can be under the basket by the time we get the rebound.
Exactly.
So here we go. Time call back in after that timeout. 29-16, 4:37 left to play. Derby Trailblazers had a strong end to the first quarter and a steady start to the second, but now the Riders have put them in all kinds of pressure here as the ball's turned over by Marville. Nice pass now to LeCure, stops in the paint, tries to hand it off to a teammate, bobbles around, didn't really give her the best pass, and both plays with their hands on the possession. Derby Trailblazers ball.
Good recovery from Derby there. You know, Riders threw the pressure at them, and yeah, they turned it over, but they got back and they got the stop. So.
And hopefully that's what Coach Carl has been telling them. And an interception here now from the full court pressure. LeCure to the rack for two. And another turnover for the Trailblazers. Need to cut those out if they're going to get back into this game. Strong drive. It knocked away from a possession. Here's Bird. Kicks it out. Oh, the two. I think Shaw kind of knew that was way off. And a little smile to herself. A little giggle.
Good to see her be confident though and still take that shot, and just better decision making next time.
Marville. Back into the corner with Barker, and turned over once again by the Derby Trailblazers. Turnovers really killing them. And it will be the story of the game if that continues. Forced and unforced. Here's LeCure. Kick right out. 3-ball with all the confidence. Captain Hannah Bird, comfortable from behind the arc.
Yeah, and she just takes what she's given. Like, if she needs to drive, she'll drive. If she needs to shoot, she'll shoot. But does everything her team needs.
There's the reply from Megan Lovett. One of the, or is the top scorer for Derby Trailblazers in this game. And now an interception for her. Pushing the ball forward for the Trailblazers. Crowded by 4 Riders players. Both players with their hands on the ball. And now it will go in favor of the Riders. Substitution checking into the game. Molly James will check back in, replacing LeCure. And I mean, what do you think? LeCure comes out, Molly James comes in. It's not really an upgrade or a downgrade either way in terms of they're both really good players.
Yeah, I think Sasha gives more of a point guard aspect. She'll run the team. She'll keep you under control, and Molly's just a bit more of an X factor.
Travel violation called. Derby will get it back. Substitution once again. Kate Davies into the game. Taking a breather. Good shift for number 12, Beth Cox. Do you have the chance to spend much time? I guess with all the regulations, probably not so much, but would you have wanted to spend time with more of the Charnwood girls this year? Definitely.
I think it was when I, at the start of the year, it was something I was really interested in, and being a mentor for them, and because I know what it's like to be in their position, and I know how hard it can be. So it was definitely something I wanted to do, but obviously with COVID, it just wasn't safe, and isolation rules and everything like that, it ended up not being feasible this year, but definitely something I want to do in the future.
34-21 the score. Nice 2-point play there for Barker, but it's replied with a nice back-to-basket move from Alex Shaw. Here's Marville. Turns the corner well. Nice Euro step into trouble and loses Molly James in that play. But here's James pushing forward now on the other side of the floor. Molly James let her go all the way to the rack there. Nobody willing to put their body on the line to just slow her down.
I mean, it's hard when you're the last player back and you've got a few shooters around and stuff, but stopping the ball is the most important thing, and it's something that she should have done first.
Love it. Foul is called. 2 shots to come.
Be interested to see if Derby can make a bit of a run here and make it a bit closer going into half-time, because that's such a big hurdle to get over if it gets any more than it is now at 17.
And that's a first personal foul for Bird, but third team. Another misses that first free throw.
And with Derby they don't have any fouls called this quarter. I think they can definitely be more aggressive on defense and try and force a few more steals.
Substitutions checking into the game for both teams. Sklepic and Hamilton will check in for the Trailblazers. And for the Riders, checking into the game, number 6, Taylor Lambert. Here's Lambert. Shadrick to the left hand for 2.
Good take there from her.
Strong. Knew where she was going. Knew what she wanted. Sklepic now. Love it. With the crossover. Tries to find Hamilton on the roll. Does so. Hamilton with the footwork to the left hand. And 1 gets it to go.
Yeah, good strong take from her and good patience there to pivot a bit and draw the defense and finish through the contact.
Foul is called on Lambert. Team foul trouble now for the Riders. 46.6 seconds remaining here in the second quarter, in the first half. And Hamilton will complete the 3-point play to bring Derby within 15 points. James, the bounce pass. Long 2 off the back of the ring from Shaw. Offensive rebound from Lambert. Molly James has room for 3 and rattles it in from behind the arc.
Yeah, she looks super comfortable at this level and she's a great player and that's why she's been rewarded with a scholarship. So
here's Lovett, other end of the floor. Pushing forward. Now with James once again. Oh, definitely a walk on that one.
Yeah, maybe it was a gather step.
That was definitely, that was a gather, that was a hold, hug, caress the ball, then maybe take you 2 steps. Marville to beat the buzzer. Can't get it to go. Second chance. And that's the end of the first half. Riders comfortably in the lead at this moment in time, 43-25. After strong performances across the board. We'll be getting that live stats really shortly. But Holly, break that first half down for us. And we actually stand up when we comment here, but at this point you can sit down and rest your legs. Weary limbs after the season.
Yeah, I think obviously the start was a slow start for more Derby side and they came back and caught up, but I think Charnwood are really showing their excellence and showing that they've been in practice more than this year than Derby have, so I think just showing that continuity and that team cohesion. But by no means are Derby out of this. I think if they just up their pressure and try and attack the rim, rebound more, they can definitely make a run and come back.
The transition offense from the Riders, fantastic. You know, you can be quite structured in transition offense. You can be in a position where actually it's something that you've practiced before, but also be in positions where it's just about decision making and will and desire to beat the other team at the floor. I think it's a bit of a balance for the Riders team at this moment in time. Yeah,
I think obviously I mentioned before that Eve could have pushed the ball instead of passing it. I think that's what has really been the difference, where they've been catching the rebounds and just going straight away, and then the runners can fill in, and then you've got so many more options. So I think it's a really good job of the point guards pushing it, but also the wings running the lane and the bigs running to the rim.
So let's take a little look at the stats for you then at half-time. Leading all scorers with 9 points, 3 assists is Megan Lovett. 2 points apiece for Georgia Hutton and Megan Adair, 3 points apiece for Hamilton and Sklepic. Hamilton also has 4 boards to a name, 4 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds for Neve Marville, and 2 points for Natasha Barker. For the Charnwood College Riders with 6 points, 5 assists, 3 steals, Sasha LeCure. Molly James, 8 points, 2 points for Lily Reed, 4 points for Casey Cox alongside 6 rebounds, 7 points personal for Hannah Bird, 3 points for Kate Davies, 3 points also for Beth Cox, 2 points for Eve Shadrick. Alex Shaw is also on the score sheet with 4 points, 3 steals, 2 rebounds, and 4 points, 2 rebounds for Katie Janaszewska. Only one player in that whole Riders team that has not put a point on the board at this moment in time, and Riders have scored 20 points from the 15 turnovers of the Derby Trailblazers overall. And it was also a factor, actually, we spoke about the transition game. 14-0 fast break points for the Riders. And the depth in that squad, as the stat sheet is showing, 20 bench points to Derby's 7 points. The Riders shooting 52.8% from the field. The Derby Trailblazers 9 for 36 from the field, 25% overall, and actually 50% from three-point territory and 80% from the free throw line. Hopefully they can start to make the amendments to get them into those positions where they're doing well in this game.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, the points in transition, the points off turnovers, if you just cut them in half, you're straight back into the game. So it's a 18-point lead at the moment. Again, cut them in half and it's more of a game, and that's not hard to do. And I think it's just a case of getting more comfortable, working together as a team. They'll go in at halftime now and talk about what they need to do, and I think it's easy fixes. It's not such a huge mountain to climb. I think they can definitely get back in this game, and but again, the only one player not scoring is a really tough thing to guard, because who do you focus on? Usually in some teams they've got 3 or 4 players that are really, really good and you can key in on them, but you can't do that with the Riders, and I think that's a really, really hard thing for Derby to overcome.
Good trait to have as a team, but really tough thing to guard, 100%. 11 steals for the Riders in that first half overall. While some of those turnovers for Derby Trailblazers are from themselves, some of them are forced turnovers and steals, as an exemplary defense from the Charnwood Riders in this game as well.
Yeah, I think it's just pressure. I think they threw in that full court press and they got a few back-to-back steals off of that, but in general it's just pressuring the ball on the perimeter and then being there, hands up, not fouling when Derby do get it inside. So a great defensive display from Riders so far.
Well, that's it from myself and Holly Winterburn here at halftime. We are going to have a brief break and we'll be back with you shortly with all the second half action in today's Women's Elite Academy Basketball League action. The Charnwood College Riders 43, the Derby Trailblazers 25. Welcome back to Loughborough University. Women's Elite Academy Basketball League action. The Charnwood Lady Riders taking on the Derby Trailblazers Academy. And it's 43-25 the score. As we are looking to get this second half underway. My name is Tahi Hajat. Alongside me today we have the lady, the myth, the legend. That is Holly Winterburn in the house.
Yep, happy to be here. Like I said, just being at a game, but
and not playing.
Yeah.
Legs up, chillaxing.
And
this is Holly's debut. So let us know. Be honest. Tell us how Holly's doing.
Be kind to me, please.
Be kind to Holly. Let us know how she's doing. I think she's not done a bad job at this moment in time, but she obviously has the expertise and analysis to be able to share with us. But she's bringing the sauce. That's what we like to hear. So let's get this one back underway. The starting fives for the second quarter have stepped onto the floor. Starting for the Trailblazers, Hamilton, Obador. We have Lovett. We also have number 6, Natasha Barker, and Neve Marville. Starting for the Riders, we have Reed. We have number 12, Beth Cox. We have Janaszewska. We also have in at number 8, Casey Cox.
Great start from them there.
Yeah.
Really good defensive intensity, and that's, I think, what they need.
And also Shadrick started for the Riders as well. Yes, Derby Trailblazers starting positively here in the second half. Not reflective is the scoreline of their desire in this game. They've really pushed the Riders to the limit at some points, but haven't been able to capitalize on their scoring opportunities. Turnovers a big problem for them in the first half, and Riders being able to capitalize on their turnovers overall with 20 plus points for them. Here's Hamilton for 3, unable to get it to go. But what me and Holly were discussing is essentially just the confidence and trying to get settled back into playing basketball again is what it is for the Trailblazers this moment in time.
Yeah, and I think they can take this. They're playing against probably one of the best teams in the country, and they can take use it for experience, and hopefully grow towards the end of the season.
Another turnover for the Riders.
Yeah, and it's great to see or hear the Derby bench be a bit louder and encouraging their teammates, and that can be really, really influential.
Yes, a loud bench is a supportive and potentially winning bench as well.
Yeah, I do miss my Charnwood days on the bench. They were quite entertaining.
The energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
College, sixth form college basketball is that you become a little bit of a unit as a group, especially with the men's program as well. You back each other. You're at college together. For the most part, you guys are living together. It's like that unity you have as a family. And whilst you might not have like many spectators, like followers in a big gym, like you might have in the States, it's the camaraderie, etc., is the same, right?
Yeah, and there is no place like a packed Charnwood Sports Centre gym. And I've played so many games there that really we won the game because of our crowd and our support and our boys on the sidelines. So it's a shame that Charnwood girls this year don't get to experience that, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of times next year.
We have a foul here, 2 shots to come. Obador is going to head to the free throw line. We've got some biased comments about the commentary from Thomas Yome, 10-10 commentary. I guess he's going to say that, A, because I coached him.
I mean, that's coming from the EABL Finals MVP, is he?
Oh, okay.
He's holding on to that one.
Oh, I love this. Burning each other over YouTube comments here and WEABL, and we'll take it. So here we go. Obador able to convert for the Trailblazers, a 14-point game now. They've really started quite passionately this second half, and here once again coming up with possession. Here's Hamilton pushing the ball forward, keeping it under control. Marville mid-range 2, can't get that finish to go. Here's Cox, Casey Cox in possession, almost loses it once again. Trying to find Reed, and a foul is called, being mauled by Marville and Hamilton.
I think as a coach, you don't mind that foul. They're trying to be aggressive and they're trying to win the ball back. So I think you encourage that.
100%. I like to see aggression. And to be fair, oh, nice block there from Obador. rejecting Janaszewska at the rim. And Derby really are bringing the intensity here in the second half.
Definitely, they've got it back to a 14-point game, and hopefully they can start chipping away. I think sometimes it's easy when you're down by so much to try and score a 30-point shot or try and win the game back in one possession, but they've just got to keep chipping away, keep doing the little things, and hopefully they can get back into this.
Oh, and a return block on the opposite end of the floor for Janaszewska. She's pushing the ball forward here for the Riders. Kicks it out to the corner. Oh, double dribble violation called on number 12, Beth Cox. It was sneaky because the referee was just at the right angle to see that, but a body in the way, they might not have. Here's Marville. Foul is called on number 14. Eve Shadrick. And that's her second personal, second team.
I think the referees have done a great job of letting it still be a physical and aggressive game, but still protecting the players and making sure it's not excessive.
Hamilton on the left hand and one. Now brings Derby right back into this game. Chance at a 3-point play. They were almost down, well, they were down by around 18 points and now brought it back in within 12. Substitution checking into the game. Annalise Roundtree will check in.
Yeah, and they just, as I said, just keep building on this, and it's been a great start, and let's see if they can maintain it.
Hamilton completes the 3-point play indeed, cuts it down to 11. I'm pretty much rooting for Derby. Here's another interception for Hamilton, pushing the ball forward. Hamilton still with it, moves on to the right hand, turns on the burners. Hamilton to the rack, to the left hand, almost got it to go, and the foul is called as Overdor tries to reach over her.
But a great aggressive take from her, and she's been doing that ever since I was playing against her. So I think she's from Northampton, if I'm correct. But yeah, she's always had a really aggressive game, and great to see her take that to the next level.
I have to apologise here, making some name pronunciations incorrectly. It's actually quite rare for myself, but happy to let people know when I have made a mistake. It's Obenor, not Oberdor. Running away with myself in this game. This is back-to-back games for me whilst fasting, so I'll give myself a little bit of slack.
I mean, I'm hungry and I've eaten all day.
The more you eat, the more hungry you are. Substitution checking into the game. Number 10, Georgia Hutton, replacing number 12, Kenny Hamilton, who has been brilliant for the Trailblazers here in this third quarter. Reed to the rack, Obenor swiping across, does enough to put her off. Here's Marville, pushing the ball forward, finds Obenor at the end of the floor, just needs a softer touch, but nice and high off the glass. Another offensive rebound for Obenor. Ball rotation, looks inside to Marville, and unable to get it to go. Here's Casey Cox now. Intercepted by Marville, coming down the other end of the floor. Hutton. Back to Obenor. Signals a head fake over to Hutton to move the ball well now. In the corner, off the back of the ring, rebounded by Janaszewska.
Yeah, another good run there for Derby. I mean, they might not have converted it at the other end, but there's good intentions and those shots will drop.
Casey Cox almost blocked at the ring, a little bit too much contact there, but the Trailblazers really putting themselves about on the defensive end. Foul is called on number 10.
I mean,
Hutton.
you can see now they're in team fouls, and in the first half, with halfway to go, they were still on 0, so it's shown that they're being more aggressive, and the referees are calling it, but I think it's working in their favour, so I think they should keep doing it.
Lambert, LeCure and Davies into the game. And now Casey Cox on the free throw line. And converts the second. Interception from the Riders. Casey Cox once again pushing the ball forward. staying on her right hand, looks for that one-handed skip across, finds the teammate, finds it up for 3. Couldn't get to go.
Is that her sister? Are they twins or sisters?
I don't know, but they both do have the second name Cox. Beth Cox and Casey Cox.
I'm pretty sure they are. But I think I love it when sisters play together, and we always have that special connection, so.
They're trying to make it work for them here at the Riders. Strong drive from Lambert, nice hands from Obanor, gets it in the right place at the right time. Lovett pushing the ball forward, bounce pass, Hutton, and the foul is called. Kate Davies swipes across with a right hand. And now Hutton will go to the free throw line for a chance at 2 shots. That will be the 3rd team foul for the Riders overall, 4 minutes 19 remaining. As she knocks down the first, back to a single-digit game.
Yeah, they've cut the deficit in half, so it's looking to be a really exciting finish.
And gets the friendly roll on the second. She'll be relieved with that one.
It's not very characteristic of netball centre rims to roll in like that.
I was going to say, actually, you know, you will have a lot more experience than I do. It was a while since I last played on these rims, at least. But, of course, these rims can be unforgiving at times.
And it's the tape. The black tape above it.
Yes.
If the ball hits that, it's like the referees will whistle it and give it to the defensive team. And it's quite frustrating.
Casey Cox gets it to go for 2. Marville skips it out across. 3 ball from Lovett. What I would say is there's been some good drive kick actions here from the Trailblazers. They look comfortable in that moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I was watching the warm-ups, a lot of them were practicing driving in and then obviously getting stopped and retreating out and then passing it, rather than just a lot of young players all get turnovers from, you know, leaving the floor, jumping with 2 feet and trying to pass it. They were really under control and finding the right pass.
So, Beth Cox and Casey Cox head to the bench. And it's team foul trouble, so 2 shots to come here for the Riders. LeCure. Friendly roll for the first. And gets the second one to rattle in. Pushes the Riders back out to 12-point lead. Here's Marville trying to weave away to the bucket. The foul is called.
Yeah, good composure from her there to, you know, weather the defense from Kate full court and make a heads-up play.
Beth and Casey are twins, confirmation.
Right.
Nice deflection here from Lambert, knocks it away. We've also got Steve Winterburn saying top commentary in the group as well.
Lovely.
All the friends and family in that. That's what you want. Here's the cure. Looking forward now for the Riders. In fact, head down. Didn't see Molly James bursting ahead. Bounce pass to find Shaw. She's going to go to work. 2 feet in the paint. Nice finish from her. Almost off balance, but gets it to go. Shaw has given good examples of her footwork.
Yeah, I've been really impressed by her confidence and her ability to just score in different ways. She's took a few jump shots. She's had good footwork, so impressed by her.
Foul is called the number 15, Shaw again, just reaching in. 2 shots to come for the Trailblazers. Not really something that you want to give up, especially when you're in a controlling position like this. She had 1 swipe, got away with it, then went in for a second.
Yeah, it's so tempting to swipe when maybe you've been beat a bit on defense, but you just got to let them make that shot, and if they make it, they make it.
Holland Winterburn is not adverse to a swipe or 2.
Absolutely not. I've never fouled in my life.
Yeah. Offensive rebound now for the Trailblazers. Hutton driving. She's been relentless this game. Shot goes up again. Shot clock was winding down. Riders have come up with it. Here they are again. Now Shaw once again. Obanor contests. LeCure with the offensive rebound gets it out to Molly James for 3. And you know that she is going to knock it down. Molly James.
Yeah, great performance from her.
Steps in the game and just fires it up.
I just love how confident she looks.
And consistent, more importantly, from that 3-point shot substitution. Hudson will take a break. She's been relentless for the Trailblazers. Sklepic into the game, and a second substitution as Natasha Barker will check in, and Elise Roundtree heads to the bench. Marville beats the defender, finds Obanor. Knocked away. Here's James. Nice pass from James to find Shaw. Shaw with a second chance opportunity. Obanor comes up with the rebound for the Trailblazers. Throws it up off the back of the ring. Obanor with a rebound, hands it off to Marville. Ball rotation. Sklepic blows the open layup. One of those moments where you're just a little bit too open. Is there a moment like that?
I think definitely. I think the hardest shot in the game is a breakaway layup when you know you have to make it and you know there's no one around you. So
here's Marville. Tough take again for Marville, rebounded by LeCure. LeCure loves to put that ball on the floor, let me tell you that. Here she goes, big block down the other end of the floor. Obanor says no, rejection, not in this paint, not today.
Great block from her.
Onto the left-hand side, a rebound now for Obanor. She's been absolutely battling. Keeps it alive for the Trailblazers, super physical, putting in the work. And a drive to the rack now, blocked at the ring by Shaw. In fact, a foul has been called. 2 shots to come.
That's a tough one, but I think you can't ask for anything more than your bigs to protect the rim like that and run the floor and rebound. So great showing from both the Derby bigs and the Charnwood bigs today.
Foul called to number 5, Molly James, second personal. Both teams in team foul trouble. And Natasha Barker heads to the free throw line.
So how does this? Is there going to be a final to this league, or is it just a play-in tournament, or what?
Holly, you asking me these questions right here. You're putting me on the spot specifically. Yes. But no, I believe it's a summer showcase, so they are playing in some form of competition format. But you know, for them, it was about the opportunity at Basketball England to get them more competing. As the shot goes up there, but I will give you a little bit of a lowdown in the break, so we are all aware of what's happening. 25.7 seconds remaining. Strong take to the basket, rebound for the Riders. Fight for possession. There's been several arrow balls in this game. This is exactly what we want to see.
I think also the difference there is there was 2 Derby players, contesting that rebound, and the other 3 were getting back, which in the first half they were suffering a bit with in transition defense just from being so aggressive.
And a backcourt violation is called. As Amelia Rakjan diving on the ball. 53 to 37, 10.8 seconds remaining. Here's James. Clock winding down, looking for the shot. As the buzzer will sound, she throws it up in a little bit of frustration there. But at the end of the third quarter, 53 to 37, the Derby Trailblazers were actually the better team for the most part of that quarter, towards the end, got a little bit sloppy and allowed the Riders to come back in as they brought in some of their stronger, more experienced players. But positive from the Derby Trailblazers.
Definitely. I think they got it down to a single-digit deficit at one point, so you know they definitely can do it, and like they came out really strong. So I'm hoping that they come out strong again in this fourth quarter and again make it a closer game.
So just to kind of give you an update then, so the EABL Academy Summer Showcase, it features 15 EABL and 12 WEABL teams, and the Summer Showcase has been designed to provide the high quality competition that they were hopefully trying to get. To help their development and progression opportunities. Obviously, with a lot of these players, you know, this is their last showing before they potentially take the trip to the States, and they've not really had a chance to showcase the opportunities. And I say the States, but also other opportunities out there for them. You know, it won't crown an overall team winner upon completion, but they're just aiming to stage as many games as possible in a safe and responsible environment to help the players, give them the opportunity to progress. So that's the whole point of the Academy Showcase, and you know, both academies here, Charnwood and Derby, have done so with the players in both the men's and now this women's game. We do have the stat sheet now with us. 8 points, 7 assists, 4 steals, 4 rebounds, Sasha LeCure. 11 points, 3 rebounds for Molly James. 7 points, 10 rebounds, 3 steals. For Casey Cox, 7 points for Hannah Bird, 3 points apiece for Beth Cox and Davies, 2 points for Shadrick, 6 points, 4 steals, 4 rebounds for Alex Shaw, 4 points, 5 rebounds for Jana Shevska. And for the Derby Trailblazers, 11 points, 3 rebounds for Megan Lovett, 6 points for Hamilton alongside 4 steals and 4 boards, 2 points for Adair, 4 points for Hutton, 4 points apiece also for Obanor and Marville, who also has 4 assists and 5 rebounds to her name as well, and 3 points for Natasha Barker. The scores on the doors. Stat-wise, you know, Derby started to capitalise on some of the Riders' turnovers, who, you know, have had 19 turnovers in this game. So Derby have only had 1 more turnover, but in the first half didn't really capitalise on that. Now they are starting to do so, especially at the beginning of that third quarter. But Riders still pushing out in transition, 14 fast break points compared to Derby's 2, and 22 points compared to Derby's 9, and Derby shooting 21.4% overall from the field. It just needs to be better. Here's Bird down the other end of the floor, side of the ring. Now with Adair. Oh, and that is foul. Caller number 6, Lambert.
A big 14 rebounds for Obanor for Derby. That's huge.
How did I not see that? Here she is again, and she gets another 2 points to her name, taking a point tally to
6.
6.
Great maths.
2 more buckets and double-double for her. She has been an absolute presence in the paint for the Trailblazers. 3 ball down the other end of the floor. Taylor Lambert responds to the foul call with a 3-point play.
And that's everyone now on the score sheet for Charnwood, so it's always great when that happens.
Strong take to the basket for Sklepic. Rebounded by Hannah Bird. Casey Cox finds Bird, cutting in transition, blocked again. Obanor.
Again, just what you want your bigs to do: rebound the ball and block shots, essentially. So she's playing really well.
She's having a block party of our own. And here comes Sklepic, pushing the ball forward. Sklepic once again, bounce pass now. Inside, Adair onto the reverse layup for 2. Gets it to go.
Yeah, nice finish from her and good push as well from number 11, Kira Sklepic. I'm not going to try and pronounce it.
Sklepic.
I'll leave that to you.
Ah, Sklepic. You've got it in your locker. 3 ball. Another rebound for Obanor. Commanding those boards for the Derby Trailblazers. off the dribble. Obanor again to the right hand, and there it is for 2. 8 points personal and a ton of rebounds.
Yeah, again, really impressed with her.
56-43. Derby starting this quarter once again, just like they did the third, and really putting the Riders through their paces. Interception now. Pushing the ball forward. All the way. Ball fake for Adair. Scoops it underneath. Bobbles over the side of the ring. The intention was great, but couldn't get the finish to go.
Yeah, good recognition from her there. There was one defender back, and she didn't really commit either way, so she thought, I'll take her myself, and that's a great take and great decision.
The post entry to the post transition. Here's Lambert, short 2. Left all alone. That just puts a little bit of cold water on Derby's run at this moment in time. Sklepic inside Obanor. Steps back mid-range. A little bit rugged.
Rushed it.
Yeah. Just needed a little bit more execution and a fundamental movement there. Oh, Casey Cox winding up the 3 from behind the arc. Lights out. Casey Cox getting it to go.
Yeah, she's perfect from the field at the moment, and I think that I don't recall her missing a shot in this fourth quarter, so good efficiency from her.
Obanor hands it off. Adair long 2. Nice hands now from Davies. Reed cannot come up with possession, and a foul is called. Foul is called on number 11. Kira Sklepic, substitution, checking into the game. Megan Lovett will check in, replacing number 13, Adair, who did well. She put herself in good positions and had that nice reverse finish.
Yeah, and pushed the ball. That was a good few minutes from her.
Oh, Reed, not sure about that footwork. Able to get it done. A rebound for Sklepic. Eyes up, looking for the next option. She's going to go all the way. Sklepic, basket to basket. Off the backboard and in for 2 for Sklepic.
Yeah, and going back to that defense for Derby, Obanor might not have blocked it fully this time, but she changed that shot and she stopped it going in. So, again, great defensive performance from her.
Another interception for Sklepic, but into the hands of Shadrick. Ball rotation, Davis, all the way, Davis, left hand for 2. Able to evade Obanor on this occasion. Out of bounds.
Good hands there from Taylor.
Reintroduction of Kenny Hamilton into the game, replacing number 11, Sklepic, who did a great job defensively. Also checking into the game for the Riders, LeCure will check in. A real balanced rotation for the Riders.
Yeah, we haven't seen KJ too much in the second half. I'd like to see her go back in.
LeCure with the crossover, kicks it out. Yeah, travel violation called. Just a little step to the side and jump stop, but also then kind of left her feet again. Substitution checking back into the game, number 4, Marville. And she's going to replace number 8, Rakajan.
You know, you don't often actually see those travel violations called too much, even though a lot of the time it is a travel. I think sometimes the referees just think that's your shooting motion, but definitely something that referees should call.
Especially for the development of players, more importantly.
Especially with these players that do want to go to America, like Europeans in college, and I experienced it myself. Everything you do is a travel. You know, they're really, really hot on your lead step when you're like taking dribbles, and your footwork, like step through to the basket. They're really hot on it. So it's something that players should definitely pay more attention to.
4th personal foul on Kenny Hamilton. Off the back of the ring for Davies. So as we're winding down in this fourth quarter, tell us who your game MVP should be. Riders in the lead by 18 points, but it's going to be a tough one because spread scoring across the board. Whilst there's been some strong individual performances for the Trailblazers, it's going to be hard to pick an MVP from the winning Riders team. And that's, of course, if they do win within this 3 minutes, 49 seconds remaining. Substitution checking into the game. Beth Cox will check in. Davis takes a break.
I think always a great indicator of a good performance is, you know, the plus minus on the stats. So from the end of the third quarter, you got Sasha LeCure on a plus 22, which is the highest out of everyone on her team and in the game. And, you know, that just shows that she's having a positive influence on the game every time she's on the floor. So good performance from her, and the 7 assists and 4 steals to go with that.
Here's Marville. Barker drives baseline but steps out of bounds. Riders will get it back. LeCure just adding to the stat sheet, doing the things that you don't see, right? And hopefully when we have those final stats for you at the end of the game, we'll be able to give you a more rounded view on who is your MVP for today's WEABL fixture. Here's Lambert, kicks it across to the corner, and an out of bounds call once again, this time for Cox.
I don't think I've ever seen that call get called and someone agree with it. Everyone always turns behind and looks at the floor like, I definitely wasn't out. And I've also done that myself.
Yeah.
And I've never been out.
Listen, everyone is guilty of that moment, you know. It's that moment where, for a short moment of your life, you wish you had smaller feet, for that moment only. And a timeout has been called here. Coach Kyle Henderson wants to talk it over with his ladies. You know, whilst the score is nearly a 20-point deficit, the Derby Trailblazers have shown some really good spells of aggressive and tough defensive plays. And, you know, what Coach Kyle explained to me at the beginning of the game is really ringing true. It's just about them playing more games together, having more sessions together as a team, and you know, really clicking in with each other. And hopefully this showcase will give them the opportunity to do that, and by the end of it we might see a completely different Derby Trailblazer team as well.
And, you know, with there not being a winner like the usual format, it is just a real chance for development and getting more comfortable and just enjoying it. It's been such a tough year in so many ways, and just to enjoy it is really important.
So time being called back in. Let us know who you think is the game MVP in the comments sections. It's definitely not the cameraman. He is definitely not the MVP. And now 2 points for Lovett.
Talking about MVPs, I've had an argument for quite a long time. What's more impressive, getting a season MVP or a finals MVP?
Oh, for me, seasons MVP. Or now when you say seasons MVP, I think for me a more valid comment is a playoff MVP compared to a season MVP. But they don't have a playoff MVP in the,
they don't.
In the BBL or the WBBL. I guess that's purely down to the lack of games or the amount of games that we have in playoff time compared to like series where, like, you know, you really got to make a difference as per se. I would say definitely season MVP over a finals MVP.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Nice long two in the corner there for Natasha Barker, knocking it down. Ollie Parr saying Casey Cox for MVP. Well, we'll let you know the stats when we get them, Ollie.
I think that's something that we can hope to see in the WBL as well in the future. Maybe more of a playoff series than just the one-off game, because I just see us like Newcastle. They're having a great run, and
what you're saying is over 3 games you want to take them.
I mean, I'd be confident in saying we play them again that we can get the win. But again, anything can happen, and they've proved their worth. Like, it wasn't just a one-off. Like, they've gone and they've beat the league winners. So again, anything can happen. But
Megan Lovett here has brought the Derby Trailblazers now within 12 with a huge 3 down the opposite end of the floor. And with 1 minute 30 remaining, Derby Trailblazers are finding a little bit of form here. Here's Lambert. Travel violation call, and the Trailblazers will get it back. You know, I guess really we all want to have a sit down with Holly Winterburn and get your thoughts about the WBBL in general. Maybe this isn't the opportunity to do so. Maybe it's something we could do in the future, maybe, to see where your thoughts are at, because I think people should be or are interested to know what you've got to say overall, and having the opportunity for that is few and far between, especially in the current climate.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think there's a lot that the WEABL do really well. I think it's so easy to criticise what they do and criticise what British basketball do, but there is so much good on the other hand that no one wants to talk about. So I'm definitely a supporter.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get those comments, or you said you heard it here first. Coming to you soon, All Access with Holly Winterburn. 64-52 the score here, a timeout called. 1 minute, 2 seconds remaining, and the Derby Trailblazers have brought this back within 12 points, making the score a lot more respectful, or respectable is the word I'm looking for, compared to at some points during the game. Just at that last stat sheet I had shown you, Holly, what's the biggest lead that the Riders have had in this game? Should say at the bottom, just there.
Biggest lead, 18 for
18
Riders.
Overall for the Riders, and you know, as mentioned previously in that third quarter, down to 9 and 8 respectively, and now within 12. A game of two halves overall, and the Derby Trailblazers, for all their mistakes, they've equally played as much hearty and.
Yeah, and I think it could have been easy for them to, when they did go down to 18, to just kind of think, oh, okay, the game's over, and kind of relax a bit and lose confidence. But credit to them, they've kept coming back every single time. And maybe if there was longer in the game, they could come back again. But
game of 40 minutes.
Yeah.
1 minute, 2 seconds remaining. Trailblazers have got the ball back into play here with Marville. Marville now moves the ball to the corner. Love it, back up top. Marville for 3. Rebounded by LeCure. Hamilton beats her. Interception now for Lovett. Hamilton tries to put it past the teammate, and that will roll out of bounds. As Derby finishing on a really positive note in this game. And this showcase, as mentioned, 7 weeks of action. You know, it's important how you finish, not particularly how you start. And I really think the girls are taking that into consideration here, because they're playing right to the final second, and hoping to progress and develop with every single second of opportunity here for them. Here's Shadrick, caught in a trap. Now with Cox. Nice deflection here now for the Trailblazers. 5 seconds remaining overall on the shot clock.
I think from that, something that young players need to learn, and it certainly took me a long time to learn, is just to keep your dribble alive. Like, if you're getting pressure, just keep it alive, and then you don't have to get trapped, and you don't have to turn it over. And if you do end up picking it up, you know, hold it. What's the worst that can happen? You get a 5-second call, and the ball goes out, and you can reset your defense.
Here's LeCure, and she's looking to dribble this one out. Hamilton is not having any of it. She is going to play to the last second. But now she will dribble it out. At the end of this one, the Charnwood College Riders will take victory 64-52. A well-fought game. Respectfully, a strong display from the Derby Trailblazers that time. But the depth and the teamwork of the Charnwood College Riders get them over the line for their victory here in the WEABL showcase. Holly, your thoughts on the game?
I think it was a great performance from both sides at the end of the day, you know. Just great to see them both out on the court, but I think Riders just, in every category, just showed they're just a little bit better and a little bit more advanced. But Derby, again, like, they showed great heart and great awareness of the situation they had in the game, and they knew that they were on the back foot, and they just kept fighting. So I don't think Derby can be too disappointed, and again, Riders should be happy with the win.
Well, we are waiting on these stats to come up to you so we can give you the lay of the land in terms of the numbers, but already off the top of our head, some big players to talk about. Of course, Casey Cox has had a fantastic second half. Sasha Lecure has been putting in the work for the Charnwood College Riders. Of course, you know, we're going to have some valuable contributions from the Derby team. Obenor, I'm excited to see what numbers she finished with. Sklepic was key for the moments that she came on. Kenny Hamilton was also tough in this game, as well as Lovett, who was a great shooter for the Derby Trailblazers. So interesting to see, hopefully, in this moment when we get these stats to see who's really been putting in the work across the board. You know, now, it's only now do I really value live stats. Prior to this, when I'm announcing EABL or, you know, other competitions, etc., it's been very difficult to kind of take, and you kind of just take notes. And the luxury of having live stats, you know, it's made me get a little bit lazy over here. But let's have a look at these stats for you. We now have them. Highest scorer of all players, 16 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 2 boards for Megan Lovett, 8 points and 15 rebounds, 3 blocks for Vanessa Obenor, 8 points. Sorry, that was for Obenor. 5 points for Barker, 4 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds for Marville, 6 points, 5 steals, 3 assists, 6 rebounds for Kenny Hamilton, consistent. Megan Adair with 4 points, 4 rebounds, 5 points, 5 rebounds for Sklepic. In fact, she has 0 steals on this stat sheet, which is weird because it seemed like she did get her hands on the ball a few times. And 4 points for Hutton overall. For the Charnwood College Riders, 8 points, 7 assists, 4 steals, 5 rebounds for Sasha Lecure, 11 points, 3 rebounds. Molly James, 11 points, 13 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 block shots for Casey Cox, 7 points for Hannah Bird, 5 points for Davies, 3 points for Beth Cox, 2 points, 6 rebounds for Eve Shadrick, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals for Alex Shaw, 4 points, 5 rebounds for Janaszewska. The scores on the doors in terms of the stats for you. Derby started to capitalise on the turnovers in this game. Riders actually finished with more turnovers than Derby, 27 turnovers compared to Riders 25, with Derby starting to work on that in that second half, scoring 20 points from turnovers. Majority of those, as mentioned, come in the second half. The depth of the bench started to also check in. 13 final points for Derby from the bench, but 27 points from the Riders on the bench. And the game started to slow down with the fatigue setting in. Fast break points. Riders were like 14-0 at the beginning of the first quarter or first half, and now it finished 14-4 on the fast break count. Derby having a trouble shooting today. 25.7 overall from the field, 33.3% from 3. But 24.2 from 2-point percentage areas, 38.8% from the field for the Riders overall, and 38% from the 3-point territory, 50% from the line, 4 for 8, and Derby 71.4, 10 for 14 from the free throw line. Taking all of that into account, Holly Winterburn, who is your MVP of this game?
I think it has to go to Casey. I think she had a really efficient performance, and you know, she was really composed and she did everything her team needed to do. I really liked how Sasha kind of ran it from the point guard, and she great in the press, great in pushing the ball in transition. But I think Casey is the MVP for me today.
And there you have it, picked by our expert in the hot seat today, Holly Winterburn, making her commentary debut. I'm sure it won't be the last time she'll be commentating. We'll probably hear from her with lots of games coming up, and her being available now to do so instead of playing. But your MVP, Casey Cox, 11 points, 2 blocks, 4 steals, 13 rebounds, double-double, an assist for good measure, 66.7% from the field. Casey Cox, the number 8 for the Charnwood Lady Riders. So, Holly, what's next for you now over this summer break, apart from getting involved in commentary when you can?
I think take a rest, first of all. It's been a long season, but keen to get back into the gym and work on a few things for going into next season. There's also the Commonwealth 3-on-3 stuff. That's really exciting, and excited to get involved with that, and yeah, just enjoy myself a bit. Like I said, I've got my holidays booked, so I'll be jetting off when I can, when Boris has told me I can.
And taking a well-deserved break, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, lucky for some, if we're able to get out there and get jet setting, please do so and do so safely. But in the meantime, that is it from us here at Loughborough University. EABL and WABL action is back. Please make sure you do show your love and support for both the men's and the women's competitions, junior basketball in general. Get involved at official EABL and at WEABL on Twitter, and also the websites eabl.org and weabl.org, and of course the games being streamed live where possible on the Basketball England YouTube page. That's it from myself, Tahi Hajar, and alongside me today, Holly Winterburn. We hope you all have a wonderful Sunday evening and a good next week.